As salespeople, we so often have our go-to questions, and a lot of times we don't even think about the fact that we're asking them. Yet, there are certain questions that you absolutely want to avoid ever asking a prospect. Because if you use those questions, you're gonna sound like every other cheeseball salesperson out there. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 questions that you never want to ask in sales. Check it out. Number 1, how are you? It's crazy to think about the fact that this question is such a bad sales question, but it really is, and let me tell you why. Every salesperson out there is starting pretty much every conversation with, how are you? And the problem with how are you is not that there's any inherent flaw with the question itself. It's just that it is so thoughtless, so rhetorical in nature. It is just common. Every salesperson is asking that question. So when you go to a prospect and say, how are you? Immediately, the prospect walls are going up because they're like, oh, okay, this person's like every other salesperson using the same exact line that every other salesperson uses. So instead, break the pattern. Use a different type of question to open up your conversation. Any question, or it could be a statement, it doesn't matter. But really mix it up, particularly if you're starting with cold calls or some type of a prospecting call, or you're at a trade show, or you're on a Zoom. Instead of how are you, use something else that gets the prospect to kind of wake up from their stupor and not just immediately raise the walls and immediately try to push back on you. Number 2. What's keeping you up at night? I will say that this is a question that many years ago was super effective because prospects weren't used to hearing that question. The problem is that now there's an entire segment of salespeople who are just spending all their time asking the questions like, what's keeping you up at night? As a result, prospects are really weary with these types of questions, particularly when it comes to starting conversations. So let's say you're dealing with a high-level buyer and you open up the conversation with, you know what, George, tell me, what's keeping you up at night right now? Immediately, that buyer is like, oh man, I've been asked this question a million times. It's super salesy, it's cheesy. Don't start with that type of a question. Instead, use something that's a little more engaging, more specific than just what's keeping you up at night. Number 3. What would get you to buy now? There is no more salesy question out there than what would get you to buy now. When you ask a prospect, what would get you to buy now? Immediately, they're feeling pressure because they know that you're trying to get them to buy right this second. And so whatever they come back with is either going to be some form of resistance or is going to be something about discounting or something that you don't really want to hear. So rather than ask questions that are naturally putting pressure on the prospect, instead, just focus on their commitment to solve the challenges that they're facing. Don't focus on getting them to buy through some weird kung fu question, but instead really focus on them, on the challenges that they're facing, rather than putting pressure on them. Number 4, are you the decision maker? There is no question that is more destructive later on in the sales process than are you the decision maker? Just imagine if you're the prospect and I say, are you the decision maker? You're basically going to go in one of 2 directions. One is that you're going to start beating your chest and you're going to say, yes, I'm the decision maker. And now, as the salesperson, I don't really know if you actually are the decision maker or not. That's one scenario. The other is that you're going to be kind of pissed off or offended by the fact that I just said, are you the decision maker? Just imagine if you're selling to 2 homeowners and you go to the husband and you say, are you the decision maker, right? Like really traditional. And of course, he's going to beat his chest. But is he really the decision maker? Chances are no. That's ridiculous. Of course not. Even in a company setting, there is typically no one decision maker. So either way, we don't want to be asking, are you the decision maker? We want to understand more about their decision-making process in general. So don't hammer them with, are you the decision maker? Instead, slow it down and just find out about their typical decision-making process. That's how you're going to determine who are the likely decision makers, and more importantly, what does their process really look like? Number 5, would a discount change your mind? This is such a desperate question, yet I hear salespeople asking some version of this all the time. So this is where it seems like the sale is starting to go south, and now the salesperson is just trying to do anything they can to get the prospect to move forward. Put yourself in the shoes of the prospect being asked this question. When a salesperson says to you, would a discount change your mind? As the buyer, you're thinking, one, well, clearly they don't have any price integrity because they're just willing to ask if I would accept a discount. But two, it just shows a level of weakness. If you're in a situation where you've lost a sale, chances are not because of the price, and it's not about discount. So asking about discount is putting yourself in the salesiest, cheesiest level that you could possibly be at. So instead, avoid these questions at all cost and use the sales process to create value. So that way you're not pushing back on price, but instead you're really focused on the value that the prospect wants to have. So there are the 5 terrible sales questions that you should never ask. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an awesome free training on the data-driven approach to closing more sales in today's marketplace. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more sales at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.